That is what the Die and Mold India International Exhibition is all about. Getting people together, making new connections, making new friends, and growing together. So, ladies and gentlemen, the TAGMA D-Mold India 2026, the 14th Die and Mold India.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगे.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And now we will once again dispel the darkness by symbolically lighting the lamp. We would request the President and Vice President, TAGMA India, to escort our guests of honor and our chief guest. So may I request Shri D.M. Sherigar, President TAGMA India, and Shri D. Shanmugasundaram, Vice President TAGMA India, to please escort our guests to the lamp. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. F.R. Singhvi, Joint Managing Director, Sansera Engineering Limited, and President, Aerospace India Association. Mr. Vinamra Mishra, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India. Mr. Hector Villaneu Evi Jr., Chairman, Federation of Asian Die and Mold Associations, that is the FADMA. And Mr. Manoj Kolhatkar, Managing Director and CEO, Tata Autocomp Systems Limited. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have the conch? Shank bajayenge hum. And with that, we would now go in for the lighting of the lamp. With that, we declare the 14th Die and Mold India International Exhibition open. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause? Once again, welcome to the Die Mold India 2026, brought to you by TAGMA. We will once again request the President and Vice President to join us on stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, the President of TAGMA India, Shri D.M. Sherigar, and the Vice President, Tagma India, Shri D. Shanmuga Sundaram. May we request you to please join us on stage to welcome the guests. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite the guests of honor on stage. We would request our first guest of honor, the Joint Managing Director, Sansera Engineering Limited and President, Aerospace India Association, Mr. F.R. Singhvi. May I request the President to hand over a bouquet to Mr. Singhvi? Thank you. We would now like to welcome on stage the Joint Secretary, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Mr. Vinamra Mishra. May I request the President to do the honors once again? Thank you. And now, the Vice President will be welcoming on stage the Chairman, Federation of Asian Die and Mold Associations, the FADMA, Mr. Hector U. Villanueva, Jr. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as Hector joins us on stage. May I request the Vice President, Tagma India, to hand over a bouquet to Mr. Hector. And, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored to have with us the Managing Director and CEO, Tata Autocom Systems Limited, Mr. Manoj Kolhatkar. Vice President Tagma India doing the honors. So, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for all our dignitaries on stage. We would like to invite the President, Tagma India, Shri D.M. Sherigar, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the inauguration of Die and Mould India 2026. I would like to extend a very welcome to our distinguished guest, Mr. Manoj Kolhatkar, MD and CEO, Tata Autocom Systems Limited. Mr. F.R. Singhvi, Joint Managing Director, Sansera Engineering Limited and President, Aerospace India Association. Mr. Vinamra Mishra, Joint Secretary, Ministry of MSME, Government of India. And Mr. Hector U. Eleanor Jr., Chairman, Federation of Asian Die and Mold Association, PADMA. We're truly honored to have you with us today. I also warmly welcome to all our exhibitors, industry leaders, partners, media representatives, and visitors who have joined us from across India and abroad. This year, Die and Mold India is our largest edition till date. We have over 400 exhibitors participating across 3 halls, and we are expecting more than 35,000 visitors over the next 4 days. Over the past year, we have seen very positive momentum in the industry. Many tool makers have witnessed very strong business growth, improved order books, and better capacity utilization. At the same time, Indian companies are making continuous efforts to upgrade themselves. We have seen increasing investments in advanced technologies, automation, and modern machining capabilities. There is also strong focus on skill development, which is very important for the future of our industry. Many Indian tool makers are now not only serving domestic customer, but also exporting global markets. Opportunities for the tooling industries are also expanding across multiple sectors. Automotive continues to major driver, but we are also seeing strong growth in defense, aerospace, electronics, medical devices, consumer goods, and packaging as India moves forward into manufacturing journey. The role of tooling will become very more critical. At the same time, we cannot ignore the global challenges around us. The current geopolitical situation has created uncertainties to supply chains. Availability of material, raising cost, these challenges being felt across industries. However, we remain hopeful to confident that with the resilience, collaboration, better day to ahead. Die and Mold in India is not just exhibition. It is the platform where the entire ecosystem comes together to showcase capabilities, exchange ideas, and build partnership that will shape the future of our industry. As we come together for Die and Mold India 2026, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge that thank each one of you who has contributed to making edition reality. The scale, participation, and energy we are witnessing the year reflect the collective strength and commitment of the Indian Tooling Committee. I wish to all very successful, productive exhibition. Thank you and welcome once again. मेरे तरफ से माय टूल मेकर एग्जीबिशन भी डाई एंड मोल्ड तो लास्ट ईयर एग्जीबिशन में रिक्वेस्ट किया था हमारे टूल मेकर से कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एग्जिबिट करे एंड हमारा देश में हमारा स्ट्रेंथ दिखावे. वो सब मेरा बात को मानते हुए इस बार हमारे एग्जिबिटर्स मोर देन 25% ऑफ टूल मेकर्स हमारे एग्जिबिटर इस बार पार्टिसिपेट किए हैं. और मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा 15th एडिशन में कम से कम 50% हमारे एग्जिबिटर टूल मेकर होना चाहिए. ऐसे बोलते हुए मेरे बात को विराम देता हूँ. थैंक यू.
Thank you. So that's a lot of effort by Tagma, but good response from the exhibitors as well, and we will keep on growing. Because, you know, the shop floor is the backbone of the industry and by extension of the country as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite our guest of honor, the Joint Managing Director, Sansera Engineering Limited and President, Aerospace India Association, Mr. F.R. Sanghvi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity provided to me to speak here this morning. 14th is a very lucky number for me because I was born on the 14th. And today the most exciting things that are happening in our country is the T20 matches. So I believe that I am like the opening batsman and my job is to just hit out. Doesn't matter if I get out early, because there are other speakers to save me out of what I don't achieve or mistakes that I do. I also find that there are speakers from industry, there are speakers from the government. So I don't want to touch on industry perspective and government perspective and leave it to them. So I would take more of a philosophical approach. Having come from an industry of automotive, starting like a tiny scale industry, so I have gone through the journey of being very, very small to a fairly decent size today in the country, and being one of the leading players in the components that we make. And being in forging industry, I can understand the importance of dies. And I also know the kind of country that we lived in 40 years ago to now, and a lot of things have changed, but certain things don't change. Government expects industry to do well, and industry expects government to support. But in this process of 40 years, many of them have perished, many of them have remained small, but many of us have grown in the same environment. So what is the difference? It is a difference of people who run the industry. And since it's an association, I would like to probably give out more of a message as to what we should do as a member of the association, what should association do, and what as an industry member I should do. Forget about what government can do. So I would like to take a simple approach. I'll take only on one point. How do we run our industry? We try to maximize our profits. We have different stakeholders. The first is our employees, then you have suppliers, then you have customers, you have bankers, all of these. And if you look at the scenario, most of us are interested in our self-interest. Want to see that how do I maximize the profit? So I'll take only one simple example today because I'm connected to skill development in my journey of last 30 years. And I would say that is one area that we focused in my company which made the difference. I was talking to people outside, oh, we are paying higher salaries now. It's gone up from 18 to 35,000 rupees. But is that 35,000 enough for that person when we want to earn 3.5 crores or 35 crores? How do you grow? How do you keep the industry growing? It is the people who have to be there. If you have 10 people, your growth is to the extent of 10 people. If you have 100, it becomes more than 10 times. If it is 500, it becomes probably 100 times. So the simple business logic is, how do I keep my employees with me, that they remain with me, and I continue to therefore grow because I, as an owner, would take care of the other stakeholders. My employees who are technically not competent when they join, but under my leadership, they become good. All my interest is how do I retain them? When you look at your manufacturing cost, the salaries that are paid to the blue-collar workers does not exceed in any case more than 10%. But in order, if you were to even increase the salary by 20, 30%, your cost is going to go up by 1 or 2%, but your efficiency from those people will probably give you another 3, 4%, and your net cost may come down. But what really happens? That employee works with you, gets trained, you don't give him that extra 3,000, 5,000 rupees, you don't give him a roadmap. What is it after 5 years for him? What is it after 10 years for him? As you keep growing, how does he get a stake in you? And you would lose the best of people. Your quality question mark comes in, your productivity question marks come in, so you don't remain competitive. You have to fight. And unfortunately, in manufacturing, the products don't happen at the assembly line. It starts with mold and dice. You are the first creator of a product. But you are at the last end, so your interest, the visibility of yours to the end customer is very low. If I was looking at the numbers, tooling cost probably is 1% of the total manufacturing cost. And therefore, that importance is not there to the outside world. They don't see you. They don't see your real good work. So it is for you to take care of yourself first on your own. Question of skill comes in. We don't get skilled people. On one side, you have huge population of young people who are struggling to get a job. On the other side, we are struggling, not able to complete the order of the customer, getting shouted because we don't have the right people. But if you really sit down as owner, technical person, how much time do you think it takes for you to train a person and get him skilled to do a job, initial job? And once he's there for a longer time, in 2 to 3 years, he becomes an expert. So what will it cost? So I am talking about a cooperative kind of a concept. Look at cooperative movement in our country when it started. Some of them extremely successful. What was it? It was every stakeholder's interest has to be taken care of. So if you take the care of your skilled people, your people, they run the industry for you. You have to be customer focused if you get the order. You are with customer looking at how to make sure that the delivery quality is achieved. That is the most important factor. But if you have the trained, competent people, you can confidently go to the customer and talk about your delivery and the quality. I can tell you my company, we had one simple logo for 30 years ago. On time, first time right. And it was so appreciated that we were asked at vendor conference to speak as to how Sansera does it. I would say that was the key for us to grow. The other second key was the employees. We did have a roadmap. I'm a non-technical person, so I have to contribute, so I contribute in these areas. And so all I'm saying is, please, government will support you. They want to encourage MSMEs. They want to reduce our import, which is even today 30 to 40% of your high-end tooling is imported. They want to do it, but don't expect them to start. You can grow on your own with little more support from the government, where little suspicion on us is reduced and support is increased. And suspicion again comes, look at minimum wages in our country. What is the kind of minimum wages that we pay? How does it survive? How does he survive? And what happens when they don't have money? They don't come and buy our products. So if you look at economics, every rupee you give to your worker comes back to you 36 times. So higher the salary you pay, higher will be the GDP of the country. Faster will be your growth. So today, I would say, before I conclude, that we have all the ingredients that are required in the country. We have the population of youth, the highest in the world. We have enough educational skill centers. It is just that their fundamentals, their process, that discipline in India is lacking. Look at this very conference. We were supposed to start at 9:50. We started at 10:40. This is the kind of discipline that is indiscipline that is actually keeping us away. Because in die and molding, 2 micron makes a difference. So when we are not so particular, passionate about doing things right on right time, believe me, the world doesn't want us. So all our youth and facilities that we have, the support we have, doesn't come in. You ask any global customer, the first thing they question is on our communication, our deliveries and quality. And this I've seen for the last 30 years, no change. It's actually become worse. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to take much of your time because you know your industry, you know your challenges. It may be good to hear again from outside perspective, but you have the solution in your hand, that you can take care of your employees, skill them in your own companies. There are enough institutions today which are providing practical training. Universities have started giving practical training. There are enough diploma students available. But for God's sake, look at their interest. You look at their interest, they will look at you. And I can tell you, this is not something that I'm talking about just as a speaker. This is the journey that Sansera had. I have employees, more than 70% of my senior executives who run the company have joined me as engineers, right from the college. They never prepared their resumes. We never paid the kind of salaries that multinationals were giving, but we were giving salaries higher than my other friends of my size were giving. We took care of them more by way of respect, creating that homely family feeling. And today when we made money, they made money. So I'm talking about my own personal experience with the company, and believe me, it really works. And then everybody comes to you. The banker will come to you. The customer will come to you. They will come on your doorsteps. But first move you have to make. So all I would say in conclusion, if India wants to lead in manufacturing, we must lead in tooling, because those who shape and mold ultimately shape the future. So I would say the future of India, future of company like mine, first depends on the mold and dies. So please put in your best, and I'm sure the world would look up to you in a big, big way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Singhvi. A wake-up call to a lot of owners and CEOs and MDs sitting out here. We have to invest so much in our people. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on and invite on stage the Joint Secretary, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Mr. Vinamra Mishra. Please get your hands together for Mr. Mishra as he joins us at the dais.
Thank you very much, dignitaries on the dais, the participants who've all joined here in this Dyes and Mould India International Exhibition. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having me here. I'm representing the Ministry of MSME, and the MSMEs are contributing in a huge manner in the economic growth of the country, whether it is exports, where we are contributing 45%, whether it is manufacturing GBO, where we are contributing 37%, the employability and employment, where we are about 35 crores of employment as of now. The MSME ecosystem is close to about 8.1 crore large ecosystem. So clearly these are the growth drivers. But when I'm here, the die and the tooling manufacturing industry is actually the precision gear which drives the entire ecosystem. So it is a real honor for me to be here and to be amongst all of you. It's a great learning experience also. The government, as I say, has set its goal on supporting the manufacturing ecosystem. We need to kind of ideate together and let the government know as to what works. Like, for example, just taking an example of the innovation sector, where we rose in the last 10 years, we kind of rose from, say, 80th or 90th in the world ranking on the Global Innovative Index to kind of in the early 30s now. That was because of the various steps that were taken in the investment and R&D and academia and the industry sector working together in the innovation sector, and that is how we kind of and then there were so many regulatory frameworks which are also kind of was put in to support the entire ecosystem of the innovation, and so there we were. Similarly, the government is also set its sight on supporting the manufacturing ecosystem. Typically, the die and mold sector is, as I was kind of, when I was coming to the exhibition here, I was discussing this with the ex-president, Mr. Sharma of TAGMA, and he's always interacting with him is kind of a learning experience every time. So this industry is basically driven by capital, it is driven by knowledge, it is driven by skills, and it is driven by passion. And if these four parameters are something that we kind of are looking to kind of support, it is something that really can be done. And like, for example, the capital support, which is very much needed. And I'm talking about the small industries which are in the supply chain of the various suppliers here, or the tier 1, tier 2 suppliers here. So we are looking at a lot of support to the credit, on the credit side and the finance side for the MSMEs, and the credit guarantee scheme, which is now having an increased corpus of 9,000 crores. It is looking to support the MSMEs if they are at all turning NPA. We have put an extra corpus to make sure that the credit guarantee is upgraded from 75% to 85% and 90% for women and some other special enterprises. So this is something that the capital and the finance side is really to be taken care of. Also, I would recommend that the industry actually starts to kind of ideate as to how to generate the skilled capital. The industry grade skilling is something that is of paramount importance. We see that we have a lot of human capital, but we are very far off the mark as far as the skills are concerned and the industry grade skilling is concerned. From the MSME ecosystem and from the Ministry of MSME, our technology centers are really working hard and in this direction to create that skilled workforce. But the industry has to rise up and have to create that workforce on its own. So it is something that you have to take the challenge and to create that industry grade skilled workforce, which is kind of horses for courses for the sector. And obviously the passion. I'm sure that the upstream is rather very well taken care of. When we say that the technology, the precision, the CAD/CAM and the way you ideate, everything is properly taken care of. It's the downstream, the marketing side, which is to be taken, which is required to be taken care of in a more, because that has largely been the leeward side, so to say, never kind of given a priority. But this, like this events like this, international exhibition where the buyers are getting to see the various products of all the producers here, is something that is a shot in the arm. So the downstream is kind of being taken care of events like this. So I am very, very sure that that the events like this will go a long way to create that niche in the sector, that support in the system, to create that very clear upstream to downstream transition, and the markets would be available for the die and mold manufacturers. I would like to end here, but I would say that from Make in India, we can look to innovate in India, and maybe from tooling in India to leading from India is what our mantra should be. The government is there with you. We would really need to sit together and ideate and decide as to what all is required. And I'm sure that this industry is going to really go places. My best wishes to the sector, and my best wishes to this international exhibition. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mishra, and thank you to the Government of India for this hand-holding, which is something which is very required, the need of the moment, because India is growing in leaps and bounds. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to invite our next guest of honor, the chairman, Federation of Asian Die and Mold Associations, the FADMA, Mr. Hector Villanueva. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Hector joins us on stage. Pronunciation is fine, right? The name pronunciation is fine. It's okay, no
problem. Good morning. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the President and the Vice President of TAGMA, Mr. Shigar, and Mr. Sanmagusandaram, and all the board members of TAGMA. And also, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our members of the Federation of Die and Molds of Asia. We have here countries from Hong Kong, we have here from Korea, we have Malaysia, Japan, Thailand, the Philippines, China, Taiwan, and of course, TAGMA, India. Okay. So, distinguished guests, respected industry leaders, stakeholders, industry partners, members, and exhibitors of the global tooling community. It is a both privilege and a pleasure to be here today at the 14th Die and Mold India International Exhibition. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the Tool Engaged Manufacturers Association, TAGMA India, for the kind invitation and organizing such a remarkable and globally significant event. Die and Mold India has firmly established itself as a premier platform for motivation, collaboration, excellence in the tool and die industry. Since its inception, it has played a vital role in showcasing the capabilities of manufacturers while creating meaningful opportunities for partnerships across borders to impressive scales of the year's exhibition. Featuring hundreds of exhibitors and the participation of various countries is a testament to the continued growth and relevance of this sector today. We are witnessing a transformative era in the manufacturing, advancements in smart manufacturing, CNC technologies, additive manufacturing, and integrated automation are redefining how industry operates. These innovations are not only enhancing productivity and precision, but are all enabling more sustainable and efficient production systems. Even like these serve as essential platforms to exchange, acknowledge, explore emerging technologies, and strengthen industry linkage. I would like to commend TAGMA, India, for the unwavering commitment, the advancing the tooling and die industry by bringing together key stakeholders from automotive to aerospace and for consumer goods and to packaging. These exhibitions truly reflects the interconnected nature of modern manufacturing. As we move forward, collaboration will remain. Once again, I'm honored to be part of this prestigious event. I wish all the exhibitors, delegates, participants a highly successful, productive, and inspiring exhibition. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hector. And ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Hector mentioned, we have friends from all over the world. Thank you very much for joining us and helping us, or rather being with us in this growth journey of us. On that note now, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the keynote address by our chief guest, the Managing Director and CEO, Tata Autocomp Systems Limited. Please get your hands together for Mr. Manoj Kolhatkar.
Thank you. And good morning, everybody. Great to see all of you. It's indeed my pleasure and honor to be a part of this Mould exhibition. And indeed, also a great honor to be part of this so very important community or fraternity, which Mr. Singvi also told very rightly, which is rather at the end of the chain. It's never noticed. So, in fact, partly Singvi Saab, even I am to blame because I am a customer at the end of the day. And I don't get to meet this fraternity very often. So it's really my pleasure and honor to meet all of you. And of course, Sharigar Saab and Chandramukhar Sundaram Saab, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And great to see international presence, Hector from FADMA, Singvi Saab, Mishraji, thank you. That clearly shows the government, wants to support this very, very important industry. And it was really nice to hear from Mr. Hector that there's a very good representation from all over the globe in today's exhibition. So that clearly shows, that the Indian industry is really extremely important as far as the world stage is concerned. We all know that, but it's only a, vindication of that fact. I think as we gather here today, it's important for us to pause and reflect on where we come from. All of us Indians here. India has for centuries been a pillar of craftsmanship, of engineering excellence. Long before manufacturing systems came into existence, our artisans and engineers demonstrated extraordinary skill, passion, and innovation. Whether it was intricate carvings of our temples, which were done by basic hand tools, but what is more important is the craftsmanship, or the unmatched handcrafted metal and stonework that we see all over India, or the development of the Indus Valley civilization. So we Indians, thousands of years back, were actually among the masters when it came to craftsmanship and planning, and if you look at some of the examples, if you have visited the iron pillar in Qutub Minar in Delhi, that's a pillar which is standing for 1,000 years possibly, without a single, amount of rust on it. So we were very, very well aware of even the material science in those days. Not only craftsmanship, but we were also aware of the material science. If you see the bronze statues of the Chola dynasty, which used the lost wax process probably, I don't know how many thousand years back, it also told that we knew very well of the manufacturing process. So as Indians, we knew most of it when it came to the basics of manufacturing, right? But somewhere along the way, I think, for whatever reasons, we have missed a few steps here and there. Nevertheless, it's really glad to see that we are all coming back with great strength. I think the economy is doing extremely well, the brightest economy on this planet today. And as we can see it even for years to come, it's going to be the brightest star. So let me now briefly come to the context in terms of the industry. Now, since I represent the auto industry, and Shingvi Saab did tell that, we have to share a little bit of the industry as well. So auto industry, of course, has done remarkably well in the last year. In the year that went by, which is 25-26, we did record sales of passenger car, almost 5.5 million cars production. We had almost 27 million, I think, for two-wheelers, almost 27 million of two-wheelers, 1 million of commercial vehicles, 1 million of tractors, 1 million of three-wheelers. So we have had the best year so far in the history of automotive manufacturing, right? So it's been a fabulous year. As far as auto component is concerned, where I belong, as I come from Tata Auto Components, year before last, we did about $90 billion as an industry, complete industry. But the good part, again, in the auto component industry also, we have seen that earlier it was more of imports and less of exports. But last year, again, I'm very, very happy to share with all of you that, in fact, the exports were slightly more than the imports. So that clearly shows that we, as an industry, have moved a long way and matured really well. And this is only going to grow further. But when it comes to the tool and die fraternity, I mean, as I understand, I was speaking to some of you earlier, we still import about 35%. There is still a large scope for all of us to ensure that we localize this very, very important aspect of manufacturing. Let's say when you talk about a car, typically a car is 1 ton or 1,000 kilos of steel. It's about 100 kilos of aluminum, 100 kilos of plastic, and maybe a few kilos of foam. That's essentially the car, right? Now, we can't do anything with that kind of metal unless it is formed and shaped by all of you, right? So there's a huge scope. And when it comes to every new model that a car maker makes, the tool and die investment for every new model will be approximately in the range of about 4,000 crore rupees for every new model. Completely new model in India. And when you talk about overseas, that figure goes into billions of dollars. But in India, again, we are basically a very frugal country. We have a frugal engineering mindset. So we are able to bring these costs low. But tools and dies that are required for making the parts for an automotive new car platform is typically in the range of, let's say, $500 million. So this clearly shows that there is huge scope for all of us. When it comes to even Tata Autocom, we used to import a lot of tools earlier. But over the years, in fact, I was very, very happy to note, because I was going to address all of you, I just did a quick check on, we buy a lot of molding tools, injection molding tools, not much of other tools and dies. We definitely buy a lot of sheet metal dies too, because these are the two manufacturing processes that we do in addition to several other assembly processes. In the last year, we have imported just about 4 or 5 dies, 4 or 5 molds. That's it. And from a total of almost 400 molds. So we have brought it down to just a basic very low single digit of 4 or 5 molds. So that's the kind of progress that we have seen as an industry. We encourage this for sure. I mean, our customers encourage what they call deep localization. So it's not only localization now. Our customers keep pushing us on deep localization. What deep localization means is that not only localize the component, but localize the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and also the dies and tools and fixtures and gauges. So that's a clear focus of everybody in this industry. So all I'm saying is that all of you have a huge scope going forward, but the success will depend upon how we work together as one team. How does TAGMA ensure and encourage and support this very, very important industry? Mr. Shinghvi did allude to the training aspect. Let me tell you, I joined Tata Motors as a fresh engineer way back in 1989. And, we had, at that point of time, we had a training program of 2 years. 2 years. So 2 years we were only being trained to become better engineers. That is the kind of importance that, Tata Motors and several of the OEMs give to training. Just another example, when Tata Motors was set, the Tata Motors Pune plant, those who have seen, it was called Telco earlier. The first building that Mr. Moulgaonkar and Mr. G.R.D. Tata set up in the entire campus, it's a massive campus of almost 700 acres. The first building that he set up was the training division. Nothing else but the training division. And I'm talking of 1950s. That is the foresight. So what we just heard from other speakers as well is, I think as an industry, we have to give a far more focus, far more investment, far more time to training, especially to this industry, which is so very crucial. I mean, the skill and the craftsmanship at the end of the day is extremely crucial in this industry. It was very glad to note also when I was speaking on the sidelines that I hear the supply of skilled personnel is not short, which was a pleasant surprise to me. But the biggest issue that the industry is facing is how to retain this talent. So for that, I think, again, we heard Mr. Shinghvi from his very deep and solid experience of 30-odd years, that we have to treat these employees as partners. At the end of the day, the manpower cost is just a few percentage points of the total business. Unless we really encourage them, make them, it's not only money, unless we make them feel a part of the whole picture, the employees will not stay. So as TAGMA, I would definitely urge TAGMA to see how can we look at sharing some best examples in the industry in tool and die making, where people have proven that their employees stay for a long time. That could, we started sharing an idea how to use more and more of digital and AI. How can we cut down the development time? Today, why does, let's say, Tata Autocomp or many of us have to import a die from China or Korea or Taiwan? Europe, of course, while the quality is good, it's very expensive. So that's why I'm speaking of these 3 countries in particular. One reason is cost, no doubt. But second is the time factor. And today, every OEM wants to cut the lead time of development of a car from what used to be 4 years to just 2 years. So that becomes a very, very important, platform where tool and die makers can really make a change. How to speed up the whole thing. So that's where the digital and AI can come in. I mean, of course, you all know of mold flow, of CAE techniques that bring down the rejection, that bring down the iterations, that reduce defects, and you get a first-time right component much, much faster. But how can we make use of this digital and AI far more and invest in that so that we are able to help our end customer in cutting down their time to market. This is another important aspect that I wanted to leave with all of you. The last aspect is, of course, on the quality. While we all speak about Make in India, I distinctly remember one of the ACMA conferences, annual conventions. We had invited Osamu Suzuki-san, I mean, the founder of Suzuki, Maruti Suzuki, of course. He told a very, very important thing. He says, yes, make in India, but make quality in India. I think that one dimension added of quality meant a lot. I think if we are able to make quality in India, we'll be in a different place altogether. And quality, as far as components or cars are concerned, is defined entirely, in my view, almost entirely by the products that you make. You know, the die and mold dictates the quality of a product, you know, to the extent of, I would say, 80+%. Rest is all, you know, rather easy. So it's in your hands in terms of how do we improve quality, not take any shortcuts, how to continuously keep working, you know, almost like a maniac as far as quality is concerned. So that will really make a huge difference as far as we are concerned. Of course, I'm sharing this perspective only from auto industry, which I hear is among the biggest players as far as tool and die. You know, of the $3 or $4 billion of tools and dies in India, almost 30% is auto industry. So I'm speaking on that behalf. But yes, there are far more, many more industries like the toy industry, like the medical industry, like the FMCG or consumer goods, which also need tools and dies. I mean, I'm unfortunately not in a position to share more of those, but yes, all that I shared in terms of quality, in terms of skill development, in terms of faster lead times is equally applicable to any and every tool and die. So to conclude, I mean, just a few messages which I'll just summarize. Focus on skill development. We did discuss that. In fact, TAGMA, I would also request if we can work together. Tatas have started 2 skilling centers called Tata IIS, Tata Indian Institute of Skills, to make the diplomas and engineers more employable. One is in Ahmedabad and one is right here in Mumbai. And we are coming up with more in Nashik and Pune. So we can definitely work together. I'll connect you to the right people where we can help in whatever we can, the industry in development of skills as well. So that's as far as skill development is concerned. Engaging early and becoming solution partners, not just die and tool suppliers, but solution partners. Collaborate and scale very rapidly. We should learn a great deal from China in that aspect in terms of scale. And the last but not the least, definitely, which I mentioned, is world-class quality. I think if we address all these, I'm sure all of us as an industry and being part of the industry will succeed and come back to the glory days that we had thousands of years back, right? With that, I would once again wish all of you the very, very best and looking forward to visit some of the stalls and seeing, and I'm very keen to see how we can participate, how we can contribute in this very important journey by partnering with you more closely. Thank you and all the very best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kolatkar. A lot of takeaways out there, ladies and gentlemen. And now we would like to launch the TAGMA 2026 directory. Can we have the directories on stage? We would request the President, TAGMA India, Shri D.M. Sherigar, to hand over the directories to our dignitaries on stage. And then we will have a countdown where everybody will join in and we will launch the directories of TAGMA 2026. So, ladies and gentlemen, are we ready? We need a loud yes. Are we ready? So let's give a countdown starting from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. A huge round of applause. So, ladies and gentlemen, the launch of the TAGMA 2026 directory. Please make sure that you get your copy of it. A lot of information, and of course, it will help you with your networking and going forward, also getting new partners. On that note, we would like to invite Shri D. Shanmuga Sundaram, Vice President, TAGMA India, to deliver the vote of thanks. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Shanmuga Sundaram.
Good morning to all respected dignitaries, industry leaders, and dear friends. Before going to vote of thanks, I would like to share a broader perspective on our industry, where we stand today and where we are headed. Today is not just inauguration of an exhibition. It is a reflection of where we have come from in the last 10 years and where we are going in the next 10 years. Let's go back to 2015-16. India's GDP was around 2 trillion. Passenger car sales were about 2.6 to 2.7 million. Electronics manufacturing was still evolving 10 years before. Defense manufacturing was largely import-driven. Infrastructure and consumption were at a different scale. Now, fast forward to 2025-26, India's GDP is nearing 4 trillion. Passenger vehicle, as Manoj said, it's 27 million vehicles annually. And let's look at the sectors have increased. Consumption is crore in 2025, a growth of more than 170%. And the country is targeting nearly 3 lakh crore defense production by 2029. Same like packaging industry, India's consumption is 11 kgs, 11 to 12 kgs. This is not an incremental growth in the last 10 years. It's a big transformation of the Indian economy. So what does this mean for tolling? Every one of the sectors, automotive, electronics, defense, packaging, infrastructure, consumer products, is directly the sectors we serve, automotive, consumption growth with the rising middle class, which means one thing, tooling demand in the next 10 years will grow faster than ever before. But let me say this very clearly, opportunity will not come automatically. We must be ready with scale, skill, speed, consistency. And one important shift we must take from being individual companies to become a strong connected ecosystem, because in the future, customer will not who is the cheapest, they will ask who is the most reliable tooling ecosystem. And I strongly believe India has all the ingredients to become that answer. Sure, can we? TAGMA initiatives and industry support. TAGMA is currently working closely with the government to design a scheme that will provide the tooling sector grants to enable a building machines close to 45 to 50 machines every month we produce. So there is a big opportunity ahead. If you see last 10 years and where we stand now, and the next 10 years going to be last 10 years and where we stand now, and the next 10 years going to be very, very interesting. Before I conclude, I would like to sincerely thank our distinguished. Tomorrow is our AGM. Thank you so much for taking your time and visiting us. I would also like to thank all our exhibitors, partners, sponsors, and the entire TAGMA team for putting together this outstanding platform. Mould is not just an exhibition, it is where ideas become partnership, capabilities become opportunities, and industry becomes ecosystem. So let us not just participate, let us prepare, let us scale, let us compete globally. And in the next 10 years, when the world looks for a dependable tooling capability, India will be one of the first names they think of.
Hand over the first one to Mr. F.R. Singhvi, Managing Director, Sansera Engineering Limited, and President, Aerospace India Association. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. F.R. Singhvi. A big thank you going out to Mr. Hector Villanueva Jr., Home Systems Limited, Mr. Manoj Kolhatkar. May I request all our dignitaries to please step up in front for a group photograph. We will now move. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have another huge round of applause? And we now invite you to the exhibition hall number.
At the core of every advanced machine is the tool.